What's up, Castlers? LFO7 here with more Let's Castle action. And today I'm going to highlight a blitz game between Jay Santiago with the white pieces and Tilboy with black. The time control was 5 minutes, was completed on September 27th at 10:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time of this year. Let's get into it. Santiago begins with pawn to e4. Tilboy follows with pawn to e6, the French defense. Santiago follows with pawn to f4, and this position is called the l'abandonné variation of the French defense. Excuse my bad French accent. Santiago is taking up more space in the center with his f-pawn and preparing to develop the knight behind it, but he must be mindful because this does weaken your king side. Play continues with pawn to d5, pawn to e5, knight c6, knight f3, and bishop c5 played by Tilboy, which was not liked by the engine because it allows the bishop to be easily kicked off that square with pawn to d4. It would have preferred Tilboy to take d4 with his own pawn, like so. But let's continue. Tilboy moves his bishop to safety. Pawn to c3, Santiago lengthens his pawn chain. Knight g to e7, bishop to d7, castle king side, queen to c2, pawn to h6, pawn to h4. Tilboy then plays knight g6. Santiago sees an advantage to go up a pawn, so he takes the knight on g6, and after the exchange, Santiago leads Tilboy by 1 material point. However, the engine would have much preferred Santi to simply push the g pawn to g4 to start attacking the king side. Hindsight is 2020, and remember, this is a blitz game. So after queen takes g6 was played, knight e7 hits the queen. Queen d3 moves it to safety. Knight f5. Tilboy moves in with the knight. Pawn to g4. Santi says, slow your roll. Tilboy isn't phased. He hops the knight onto g3. Rook h3 targets the knight. So Tilboy puts his knight on a nice outpost on e4. Santi doesn't like knights in his house, so he plays knight bd2 to trade off, but his f-pawn hangs. And Tilboy takes it, and the game is even in material, with Tilboy having a slight edge positionally according to the eval bar. Santi eliminates the pesky knight. Tilboy takes back with his rook, which from the human eye and my human brain looks like the right move, but the highly superior chess engine says Tilboy missed the winning move by not taking with the pawn instead and threatening the queen. Like so. If he takes your rook, you take his queen. If he tries to save the queen with queen c2, then you take the knight, and that's a totally winning endgame as well. Again, this is a blitz game, so time plays a factor in these decisions. The turning point of the game, however, occurred on move 22 when Tilboy played bishop to a4, check, which is a blunder because you're going to lose material. Because after pawn to b3, bishop b5, and pawn to a4, Tilboy's rook is hanging. Tilboy doesn't want to lose material without getting anything in return, so he takes the bishop on d2 with check. Santi recaptures and goes up in exchange, and it is now Jay Santiago who leads by 2 material points with 4 minutes and 4 seconds left on his clock as opposed to 3 minutes, 3 seconds left on Tilboy's. Tilboy gets his bishop out of harm's way. You then get queen to d3, pawn to c5, rook f1, c takes d4, knight takes d4, rook c8, king b2, queen e7, rook f4, bishop a4, knight e2, pawn to b5, pawn to b4, bishop to b6, pawn to a5, bishop a7, knight d4, rook c4 pins the knight. Santi now doubles up the rooks on the f-file, and we get bishop g6 by Tilboy, which hangs the bishop. Again, I'm sure the clock was a factor. There was a tactic to be played. Instead of bishop b6, the engine said bishop takes d4, take that knight. You then get rook f8 check. Queen takes f8. You take that. This is forced. and then simply c takes d4, and this wins you material. Is it winning? No, but it was the better line. Again, very difficult to spot in a blitz game and with 158 left on your clock. That was basically the last gasp by Tilboy as Jay Santiago was able to convert the winning position, and Tilboy capitulated after move 47 with 37 seconds left on his clock. So a nice win from Jay Santiago, as this added another point to his weekly blitz total. He ended up with a total of 11 points for the week to win the weekly blitz tournament and take home his 15th blitz title of the season. Thanks for joining me on the Let's Castle channel for another exciting chess video. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Let's Castle chess action. We've got plenty more moves to make and games to play, so don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay up to date on our latest content. And as always, I'm Megadef07 telling you to stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.